And so far, I've got a rooftop unit number 7. It's got a bad condenser fan motor, which we're going to replace right now with that bad boy. And then I got to do a leak check on one of the circuits. I didn't check my battery. Freaking dead as a doornail. So we've got a little ratchet. I'm just going to go ahead and take this apart and I'll get back to you. These stupid OEM motors where they got the lead connection right there on the side, because it is a pain in the butt to try to get it between that groove right there to set it and pull it out. I just got it out right now. I had a hard time. I had to put a flat blade screwdriver in between the motor and the cradle to kind of leverage that out, but it's out, so let's go ahead and get to work. I learned a long time ago, easiest way to kind of get these blades out without getting a blower puller tool or fan blade tool, remover tool. Get your crescent wrench. This one's a little, about an 8-inch crescent wrench. I've already got this set key loose. Go ahead and fix it right there in that flat part of your condenser fan motor. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to work with your hand. I got the camera on, so just work with your hand back and forth. Go left, go right, go left, go right, and you're going to start to loosen up the shaft from the motor. Once you start get it to a point where it starts to go down, you're going to want to sand the top of this, because of course it's going to be all rusted. So I try to work this as far down as I possibly can. I'll start to sand it, clean it up, and work my way back up. So real easy without having to bust out your fan tool. Why I keep calling it a fan tool? It's, what do they call that? A blower wheel puller tool, fan puller tool. Easiest way to do it is, like I said, just with sandcloth and with one of these, work it back and forth. Came apart pretty easy. Started cleaning the top right there, worked the fan blade down. Once I got it to a point where I was pretty happy with it clean, I just started working it back up little by little, and it came off. So that flat part, like I said, of the shaft, you're gonna fix the crescent wrench, move it back and forth, hold the fan blade, or move the fan blade and hold this stationary, and it'll work its way off. I've been in the trade a little under 8 years, and I rarely use oil to have to get these fans out, so pretty cool little trick. I don't know if it's widely known, but that's how I do it. Got it in, already mounted. Just want to make sure it's free wheels, so there's no obstructions, nothing hits it, so when it starts up it takes off just fine. I try to go as shallow as I possibly can, not too deep in there, because you're not going to be pulling out the right amount of air that you need to. Matter of fact, you have it low enough, it might recirculate some of that hot air that's being generated inside there. So try to come up as high as you possibly can without any obstruction and without hitting the guard right here, and you'll be in good shape. On that leak check, I went ahead and started gassing up the, well, not gassing up, but throwing some nitrogen in circuit 3. It started building up to about 300 psi. I just wasn't getting it back on the suction side from the evaporator coil. So went ahead and took apart this TXV just to take a look at it, to see the guts. A lot of oil came out, so I'm wondering if maybe it was oil logged. I'm gonna throw some nitro through it real quick, pressurize it back up, see if I get my pressure to come back. But that's what the inside of the guts look like, just like that. And while I blow some nitro through it, I'll make sure that there's not a restriction right here. I'll show you how that goes in just a moment, but just want to show you real quick what the guts of a TXV looks like. That's the power head. That sensing bulb right there has a charge of refrigerant that modulates based on your suction line temperature. So it'll move the power head back and forth. If it's completely gone, it'll just stay locked shut. I mean, that's your guide rod right there, and the tensioner spring in the back. So that's what that looks like. Found the power head was bad. Went ahead and replaced it. There's the old one right there. And I'm about to sweat this in. Brand new filter dryer. Make sure the direction's right. This is the discharge line coming from the compressor, going through the coils, coming back out through the liquid line, going up through the liquid line to the TXV. So we know we're in good shape. Alright, let me go ahead and cook this in. Cooked in and ready. Let's go ahead and work our magic, do a pressure test, make sure I got no leaks, and then we'll throw it in the vacuum and get it going.